Nowadays everyone is talking about the specs. 2.5K, 4K, 5K, 6K, RAW, ProRes, the number of dynamic stops, the dynamic range. But do you really need the best camera to produce an interesting image? The answer is kinda obvious, not. But when we're looking at the image we're not satisfied with, the first thing to blame is the camera. But before buying a new camera, there are a lot of things you can do to alter your image. Right now I'm capturing the audio using the inbuilt microphone in this camera. The camera that I'm using is Canon 200D. In United States it's called Canon Rebel SL2. It's a $500 camera, but a more expensive camera is not going to change this image drastically. The first thing that we need to change is sound, because audience is willing to tolerate crappy video, but not crappy audio. I'm going to use this microphone, which is not cheap, but you can use basically any microphone that you've got. A cheap leveler, even your phone microphone. The only requirement is that this microphone should be very close to your mouth to capture good sounding audio. So let's switch from inbuilt microphone to this Shure SM7B. Now, right off the bat, it's making a huge difference. The audience will be able to stick to the end of this video without bleeding out of the ears. But we are going to go a bit further and change this image by changing light. First of all, we need to turn off all of the ceiling light. It's a very poor quality light, which is not going to look nice on any camera. Instead of ceiling lights, we're going to use LED lights. I'm going to use LED lights from Aperture, but it doesn't really matter what kind of LED lights you are going to use. There are some really cheap lights out there. So let's turn off the ceiling lights and turn on the LED light. Now this is much better, and this is probably enough for the talking head kind of video. But we are going to separate the subject from the background, because right now the background is kinda dull. We are going to use light and color to separate me from the background. We're going to use a second LED panel over there and put a color gel over it. Now it looks even nicer, because there is the separation between the subject and the background. But we still kinda lacking something. We're going to use the backlight to further separate me from the background. As a backlight, we are going to use this long LED panel. And on top of all of that, I'll try to color grade this footage. I know that this footage comes from a very cheap camera, which is not going to give me a lot of room in the color grading, but I'll try to do my best. So this is it. This is the image that we got. We've come from this image to this one. There is a huge difference, and this change is not going to be achieved by simply switching this camera with a very expensive cinema one. So before buying a more expensive camera and lens, we need to learn how to shape lights, how to work with light, and how to achieve a very good, clean sounding audio. And only then, if we are reaching our limits, we need to think about buying a new camera with 10-bit image, 12-bit image, or whatever you need for your project. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye!